Today's video has been sponsored by Helix Sleep. It wouldn't be a proper holiday season in 2021 without wasting hours of your day scrolling through TikToks instead of doing literally anything productive or going outside and being festive. At least while I was doing that, I came across some very cute and festive holiday TikTok recipes that I am going to be recreating today. On the menu is a French hot chocolate made by Mr. Mez's Kitchen. For the second course, we've got some rose pull-apart bread by Mariam. And then finally, for the last course, some very unique holiday-themed ravioli made by Danny Loves Pasta. Shoutouts to all these creators for sharing your recipes. All their links will be down in the description, but let's get right into this one. The order in which we will be recreating these recipes today are as follows. The French hot chocolate first, so I've got something to sip on. Then the rose bread for a little appetizer, and for the entree, the Christmas tree ravioli. And it is a good thing I am well rested and up to the task today because of my friends over at Helix Sleep. You guys have heard me talk about how much I love Helix in the past, but just in case you're unfamiliar, Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your unique needs. Everybody's different, and Helix knows that, so they created a sleep quiz that matches your unique body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. At the beginning of my own journey, I myself took the sleep quiz, and because I am a back sleeper and like a medium to firm mattress, I was matched with this beauty and have slept amazingly ever since. And maybe the best part of this is that Helix delivers your mattress straight to your door for free. It comes rolled up in a box and is super easy to set up yourself, and if it makes you nervous to buy something that you haven't tried yet, Helix has a 100-night sleep trial, so you get more than 3 months to make sure you love the thing. If not, they'll pick it up for you and you will get a full refund. Plus, Helix mattresses have a 10-year warranty, and they offer financing options and flexible payment plans, so a great night's sleep is never too far away. And now, I am incredibly excited to announce that Helix and I have partnered up to be able to give one mattress and a pair of dream pillows to one of you absolutely free. I know some of you have already bought your own, and that is great, but I need more of you to try these things. All you've got to do is leave a comment down below saying that you want one, leave hashtag Helix in your comment, that's HEILX, and then next Friday the 24th, I will randomly be picking one of your comments as the grand prize winner. And as a heads up, unfortunately this one is only open to residents of the US, but keep an eye on your YouTube notifications because I will be pinning the winning comment. Regardless though, if you're in the market for a new mattress, I cannot recommend Helix enough, so click the link in the top line of the description, go to helixsleep.com/David Seymour, and you can get up to $200 off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. And thanks so much to Helix for sponsoring today's video. But okay, I am drooling in anticipation for this French hot chocolate, so let's compile everything to make it. You will need some whole milk and large marshmallows, a pinch of salt and some granulated sugar, good vanilla extract, dark cocoa powder, some cinnamon sticks, and some dark chocolate. I was considering devoting an entire video to all different kinds of hot chocolate recipes, some international versions, but when I came across this video on TikTok, between how good it looked and this guy's energy, I could not help myself.
Hot chocolate, let's step on it, God, let's go!
And it's super simple too. You chop up about a half cup of chocolate, measure out all your other ingredients. You steep the milk and vanilla extract with the cinnamon sticks and cocoa powder for about 10 minutes. Run it through a strainer and then back over the heat, you toss in everything else. Let that chocolate melt down, let the sugar and salt dissolve. It is quite a bit more work versus a traditional packet of hot chocolate and some boiling water or milk. But on the grand scheme of TikTok and holiday recipes, this is not bad at all. Pour it up into your glass of choice and then try to get a toast on the marshmallow without absolutely singeing them. I learned today that it is quite difficult to toast a marshmallow with a blowtorch without burning it. And by the third attempt, I just gave up because who cares? I like marshmallows a little extra toasty anyway. This smells wonderful. Even the burnt marshmallows. This is so good. It's the perfect balance between sweet and bitter chocolate and that little bit of salt in there. And something about just like a warm, chocolatey beverage this time of the year makes me feel like I'm being hugged by a French Santa. I don't know either. I would imagine the quality and taste of this is very dependent on the kind of chocolate you use. Like I said, I used 100% cocoa powder. I use a very dark chocolate baking bar, and I think that probably is the reason why this is so like velvety and tasty and balanced and rich. You should definitely give this a try if you're in the mood for some hot chocolate at any time of the year. And I'm definitely happy to have it to sip on my side while I tackle the rest of these recipes. Next up today are Mariam's beautiful looking rose pull-apart sweet rolls. You will need some all-purpose flour and vegetable oil, some rose water and granulated sugar, kosher salt, active dry yeast, unsalted butter, red food dye, and some warm water. Apart from being visually stunning, these things look like one of the coolest foods I've ever seen. These guys seem super easy and simple to make. They're only gonna get risen once for about an hour at room temperature. And they seem like they're gonna taste delicious because they've got sugar and salt and butter in them, as well as a little bit of rose water. That did take me a little while to find. I actually ended up finding it at a local Middle Eastern grocery store. I'm unsure if this brand that I have is a good one or not. You guys can let me know in the comments if you know. All you've got to do is whip up the yeast mixture with some water, yeast, and sugar. Add that into your stand mixer with everything else. Beat it into submission for about 15 minutes. Let it rise just this one time until it's about doubled in size. According to the recipe, this should take about an hour. But if your house is like mine and it's akin to standing on an iceberg in northern Canada, that could take closer to 2 hours. And in a procedure I've never done before, we're going to separate this into 9 equal balls, roll it out into a very long oval shape, chop each oval into 3 equal planks, and then braid them while maintaining their flatness. Clearly I'm having a hard time finding good descriptive words for this. Roll each braid up to get these very cute roses, not as good as the video version, but still okay. Brush them with some egg wash, bake them at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes uncovered, and then slap some foil on there for an additional 15 minutes. Don't let these fancy, quick editing cuts fool you. That braiding process took me well over an hour and a half. It was quite strenuous. But we have arrived to something, so let's give it a shot. These smell excellent, but obviously there's a couple things we gotta get into. Let's try to get a piece first. Although very reminiscent of Play-Doh, I am enjoying the overall, like, color and lack of browning on these. Based on my still limited bread baking knowledge, I'm gonna try to break these down. For one, they are underbaked. You could tell the middle one did not rise nearly as much as all the other ones. And then in the very middle of these, there's still a little bit of doughiness. Number two, even though you could tell the gluten formation is there, I think it's underproofed. I think these really would have benefited from a second proof after we had them formed into the roses already. Because even with rapid yeasts, they get risen and rested longer than an hour, and only one proof. So I think a second one would have helped. The very exterior, where it's cooked all the way through, is actually really pleasant. It has the same flavor as like a Hawaiian sweet roll. It's definitely an amazing and very creative concept, but overall, it definitely needs some tweaking. Maybe one day we'll come back to them. And lastly, but not leastly, we've got some homemade from scratch Christmas tree ravioli from Danny Loves Pasta. You will need some flour and salt and pepper, fresh nutmeg and ricotta cheese, unsalted butter and fresh sage, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella, lots of eggs, and then a whole assortment of food dye colors. Before I forget, I gotta shout out one of my best friends, Cassidy, who actually sent me this recipe to begin with. And it's gotta be one of the most creative and just interesting holiday recipes I've seen in a very long time. It seems so obvious, like, how has nobody ever thought to make other custom foods just besides sugar cookies? Maybe there's a reason for that, but either way, we will be finding out today. I whipped together my filling for this thing, the base being the ricotta cheese, and then loaded up with salt and pepper, fresh nutmeg, our 2 cheeses, and an egg. I feel like the universal Grinch with my unintentional rhyming, even though I'll never be able to match his sass or amazingness.
Yeah, whatever.
And then I whipped up my pasta dough, also pretty simply, just with the flour, lots of eggs, and a pinch of salt. And unfortunately for me, the breezing right through this recipe came to a screeching halt right here. It takes an extremely long time to work any kind of food coloring into pasta dough because it's so stiff and dry. I know that some people work their colors in using the actual pasta roller itself, but in the past I've gotten it loaded with dye and I didn't want to do that. Even though by the end of working in all these colors, I definitely had a minor form of arthritis. And if you thought that part was tough and annoying, just wait until you've got to form about 100 little tiny annoying freaking balls. Roll out about 20 feet of your green dough, load it with your ricotta cheese filling, wet the dough around the filling so it adheres, punch out your little Christmas tree shapes, and then spend the next 2 to 4 hours decorating each one of these little damn trees. If you want to do this, I recommend gathering a group, preferably an army, because this took me I don't know how long. All I know is my back was aching, my finger joints were still numb, so major respect to anybody who ever makes anything like this. I then whipped up a quick little brown butter and sage sauce. Incredibly simply, just brown your butter, throw in some sage and let that fry. Season it with some salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. And now it is time to take your bets. Will these Christmas trees stay together in the boiling water? I thought for sure I would lose anywhere from 25 to 50% of these, but they all hung on there for their dear lives. I strained them out of the water, loaded them onto my plate, finished them off with a coating of the butter sauce and a nice little snowfall of Parmesan cheese. And although this feels like it took me over 10 hours, it's been a while since I've been this excited to try something, so let's give it a shot. If I only ever smelled the smell that's going on here, the brown butter, the cheesy Parmesan, and the sage, I would be thrilled. This smells absolutely phenomenal. Oh man, sell these babies. These are winners. Is this gonna be the new version of guess if it's cake or not, if you remember that? Guess if it's ravioli, because who would have thought you could make something that looks like this, like a straight up sugar cookie, have it stay together very easily, and taste this damn good. The overall flavor is great. They're insane to look at. Like, look at that thing. How's that food? The cook on the Christmas tree pasta dough is good. The only thing that is not good is the cook on the balls. They're a little hard and underdone in the very centers. I think if I made them about half the size, like 50% smaller, I think they would have cooked fine. Otherwise, these are absolute winners. So creative, so delicious. If you've got, let's face it, a lot of extra time, I recommend that you try it out. I mean, look at these things. I can't get over it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave me a big old like. Thank you again to Helix for making this one possible. Do not forget to leave a comment down below with hashtag Helix if you want a shot at a mattress for yourself. Follow me over on Twitter and Instagram if you don't already. And other than that, have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you right back here next time. Peace!
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my 18. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.